SpaceX is wrapping up the year on a high note, launching its Falcon 9 rocket 3 times in less than 34 hours to deliver various loads to low Earth orbit. So far this year, the company has completed 59 orbital launches with success. SpaceX still has 2 more launches planned before the end of the year, which would bring the company's total to 60 for 2022, as set by Elon Musk. Welcome to Smarter Tech, and in this video, we'll take a look at everything you need to know about these 3 Falcon 9 launches and further updates from SpaceX. SpaceX has successfully launched 3 Falcon 9 rockets in less than 34 hours, putting the company just 1 mission short of their 2022 target. The period was almost as intense, with 2 launches scheduled minutes apart and all 3 scheduled to launch within 10 to 11 hours. However, the more conservative sequencing SpaceX eventually settled on produced impressive results, allowing the company to break its own world record for the quickest time to complete 3 launches of the same rocket. In June 2022, SpaceX completed 3 similar launches in 36 hours and 18 minutes, a STARLINK mission, a scientific Earth observation satellite, and a commercial communication satellite. 6 months later, SpaceX successfully launched another Earth observation satellite, a pair of commercial communication satellites, and 54 Starlink satellites in 33 hours and 46 minutes, shaving more than 2 hours off its previous record. The latest hat trick for SpaceX began on December 16th with the launch of the joint US-French surface, water, and ocean topography mission from Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. Despite being delayed from December 12th to 15th, the launch was a complete success, putting the 2.2-ton Raider satellite into a low Earth orbit where it will be able to precisely analyze virtually every inch of exposed water on Earth. This unprecedented capability should make it easier for scientists to study and comprehend the Earth's water cycle, as well as humanity's significant influence on those processes. A little more than 11 hours later, a second Falcon 9 rocket launched from SpaceX Cape Canaveral Space Force Station LC-40 pad, carrying the first 2 Boeing-built O3B mPOWER satellite for SES. According to SES CEO Steve Collar, SpaceX Workhorse rocket performed admirably once again, even exceeding its contracted parameters. The Falcon 9's superior performance will reduce the amount of time and propellant required for each 1.7-ton mPOWER satellite to reach its operational orbit, potentially resulting in a faster path to revenue generation and longer useful lifespans. All 11 initial mPOWER satellites will be launched by SpaceX. As Boeing completes the next 9 satellites, they will be launched into orbit between 2023 and 2024. After O3B mPOWER 1 and 2, a third Falcon 9 rocket launched from SpaceX NASA Kennedy Space Center LC-39A pad with what could be the final full batch of Group 4 Starlink version 1.5 satellites. SpaceX's first-generation Starlink constellation is made up of 5 groups of satellites that operate in distinct orbital shells, and the December 18th launch of Starlink 437 will put the company just 14 satellites away from completing the second of 2 shells of 1584 satellites. Overall, Starlink 437 was SpaceX's 65th operational Starlink launch since November 2019, and the company is likely only 20 launches away from completing its first satellite constellation, which is already the largest in history by a factor of 10. All 3 launches took less than a day and a half to complete. Each Falcon 9 booster landed safely after supporting their corresponding orbital launch, ensuring that those booster packs will be able to support more launches in the near future. In fact, Starlink 437 was the 15th mission for SpaceX Falcon 9 booster B1058, breaking the company's internal reuse record and pushing the technology's limits. It is unclear whether the company will expand beyond 15 flights. In February, Elon Musk confirmed that the company's goal was for Falcon to launch about once a week throughout the year, shortly after a NASA oversight panelist revealed that SpaceX was targeting 52 launches in 2022. By the way, if you're watching us for the first time, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can enjoy our future videos while getting updated. Coming back to the topic, in October 2020, Musk tweeted that a lot of improvements would be needed to achieve his goal of 48 launches, an average of 4 launches per month in 2021, continuing a tradition of extremely ambitious SpaceX launch cadence targets. SpaceX ultimately fell far short of that goal, but it did set a new annual record of 31 launches in a single year, breaking its 2020 record of 26 launches by about 20%. However, perhaps even more significant than the new record was SpaceX's ability to complete 6 launches in 4 weeks by the end of 2021. In interviews with Aviation Week in June 2022, SpaceX executives stated that Falcon boosters would be retired after 15 flights, a significant change from previous indications that each booster could launch 100+ times with regular maintenance. SpaceX's 59th successful orbital launch in 2022 was also Starlink 437. Elon Musk, CEO of SpaceX, increased his previous annual target of 52 launches to 60 launches in March. At the time, 60 launches in a single year seemed unfathomable. The all-time record for a family of rockets is 61 successful launches in one calendar year, which was set in 1980. Despite this, SpaceX has consistently executed week after week, averaging one launch every 6 days for more than a year. According to multiple sources, SpaceX has 2 more Falcon 9 launches planned for this year, another Starlink mission on December 28th, and a mission carrying the Israeli ERA-C3 Earth imaging satellite on December 29th. As a result, SpaceX Falcon rocket family has a chance to equal the all-time record of 61 R7 family launches, which was supported by the entire Soviet Union at the height of its national launch cadence. Following the launch of Starlink 437, SpaceX has at least 2 more launches planned before the end of 2022. According to a source, SpaceX may launch its 6th transporter rideshare mission from Florida on December 27th, followed by the launch of 2 satellites from California on December 29th. While SpaceX schedule targets for future projects are often easily dismissed, there is evidence that SpaceX will attempt to launch its first Starlink Gen 2 satellites before the end of the year. SpaceX received permission earlier this month to communicate with a Falcon 9 rocket for a project called Starlink 5.1. One of the 5 orbital shells that comprise SpaceX's first-generation Starlink constellation has no satellites and is awaiting its first launch. However, that shell is polar, which means that its satellites will orbit around Earth's poles. It's possible that SpaceX decided to reuse the STA for its first Starlink Gen 2 launch, which it can't currently launch to an inclination other than 53 degrees, approximately the same trajectory indicated by the document. When combined with SpaceX VHF Beacon STA requests stating that initial Starlink Gen 2 launches will begin in late December, and unofficial manifests indicating that SpaceX has a Starlink launch planned, it appears that the first Gen 2 satellites will reach orbit later this year. Starlink V2 mini satellites will still be several times larger than today's Starlink V1.5 satellites, weighing up to 800 kilograms and measuring 4.1 by 2.7 meters, according to an October 2022 FCC filing. According to SpaceX, the Starlink V2 mini satellites will also have a pair of massive solar arrays totaling 120 square meters. If V2 mini satellites are nearly as power efficient as V1.5 satellites and use similarly efficient solar arrays, this implies that they could offer 3 to 4 times more usable bandwidth per satellite. Assuming SpaceX has once again found a way to utilize all of Falcon 9's available performance, each rocket should be capable of transporting up to 21 Starlink V2 mini satellites to low Earth orbit. However, it's worth noting that in SpaceX Falcon operations' nearly 17-year history, the company has never launched a rocket after December 23rd or before January 6th. Transporter 6 and ERA-C3, SpaceX's 60th and 61st launches this year would have to break through that apparent barrier to launch on time. And with that being said, it's time to end our video. Before that, we'd like to know what are your thoughts about these Falcon 9 launches. Let us know in the comments. Like this video and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more amazing videos like this. We'll see you in the next video.